Welcome to this week's episode. We're freaking excited. I'm excited. This is episode 17. We need to talk a little bit about Ashley Harrington. Ashley is one of our 6 seniors. Hopefully I got that number right. She is one of our seniors, though. I know that for a fact. Ashley plays kind of center forward-ish on our team. Very good player. Been starting for a few years now. I believe she has the career assist record.
It's right here in the paper, I believe, somewhere. I think it's on the top side because I think she broke the record.
I'm pretty sure she's passed it, but if not, she's only like 1 assist away from tying it or something like that.
Harrington also had an assist along with her goal to set the record for most career assists at UNI with 13, as well as the most games with an assist with 12.
Yeah, so very good team player. When we talk about Ashley, that's a player who can score goals and produce goals through those assists, obviously. So very good in goal contributions. You know a little bit more about Ashley than I do. Is there anything you want to tag on?
She's my favorite player. What can I say? No. It's kind of funny. Ashley always chuckles at this whenever I'm like, oh yeah, no, she was my favorite player before. Like, we had our biased opinions of like, oh, this person's like super nice to me, so she's now my favorite player. And that, like, she's always been a very steady midfielder/forward. She's just very strong on the ball. Her contribution with assists is just amazing, and she just sets up the right passes. And favorite player.
Absolutely.
If you couldn't tell by the shirt, the Ashley Harrington shirt.
Yes. Well, we've had an extremely exciting week. Since we last saw you, we have started and continued a school record for games unbeaten and basically best start to the season. So this week we had games at South Dakota and versus UT Martin. Those games were only 2 days apart, so that's kind of crazy, quick turnaround, but we were able to win both of those. We will talk about both of those, but first, let's just talk about the fact that we are undefeated through non-conference play.
For the first time in team history, we did not lose a single non-conference game. And like in most cases, when teams go undefeated in non-conference schedules, it's because they play easy teams. We really haven't. South Dakota's a solid squad. Omaha made the tournament last year. Southern Utah was a great game, tough opponent. They've played tough teams. Western Illinois, anyways, but like, we've had a pretty solid schedule. It's not like we're playing NAIA team after NAIA team.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting solid wins, and then we're dominating the teams that we should be dominating. Like, we're witnessing UNI women's soccer history this year, and it's only the beginning.
It's great. So we have minimum 10 conference games to play, and let's just talk about where we are this year versus the past couple years. So since we've been following the team has got 6 wins per season, and this year we're at 7 already with 10 left in the bag. So I think it's crazy that we are witnessing more wins than we ever have before. We'll get into team stats soon, but we're witnessing, I'm like 90% sure, more goals than ever before. This team is scoring at a phenomenal rate. It actually, just a quick look at the stats.
We have
barring
25
barring our
goals so far.
tie, we have 1 singular game out of our 7 wins where we didn't score 3 goals. Every win we have at least 3 goals besides our 1-0 victory. That was the very first game of the season. This team is scoring goals like crazy, giving us things to cheer about. And yeah, so our undefeated season is something, you know, I've kind of been telling people as they ask me how's the season going. I'm like, well, if you would have told me at the beginning of August that we would be undefeated heading into conference play, I probably would not only have not believed you, I probably would have laughed. Like, dude, that's a nice joke. Not in a million years. But here we are, like we said, witnessing history. It's been 21 years. This is our 21st year as a team. And we're here undefeated. It is absolute bliss.
Very well said. Let's get into the South Dakota game. Rivalry game against South Dakota on the road. Unfortunately, we weren't able to go because of class issues, but I was able to watch it. online. I forked over the $9.99, and man, besides the first 15 minutes of the game, we looked good, scoring 3 consecutive goals after their first goal. I think it was 11 minutes, and I could be wrong with that. I think it was 11 minutes. I'm like 6 minutes and 12 seconds by
Ashby Johnson.
But by Ashby Johnson, and I'm not gonna lie, after they scored that goal, like we still didn't continue to play well. I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be a long game. Like I genuinely thought it was gonna be 2021 all over again, and I started, getting scared. And then we tied it about 10 minutes later, I think. Yeah, 10 minutes.
Yep.
Almost on the dot. And then the lightning delay happened, and I'm like, well, hopefully this doesn't, ruin our momentum that we had. But we stepped out in the second half, scored 2 goals. I think one was by Olivia Kneffley, one by Macy's. Oh, way off.
Second half of these.
First half, Olivia Kneffley scored. Second half, it was Ashley Harrington and then Macy Smith, and I believe Maddie Eastis had at least 1 assist in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, she had 2 assists. So we get into team stats more, but I think Maddie Eastis is arguably
not our best player, but our most productive player.
Yeah, and she's been great. I think missing her most of last season and kind of just with her injury and then just kind of lack of playing time before that, I think it's great to have her on the team. I could tell that watching her social media over the summer, she's posting a lot of training videos, and I was like, dang, she looks good. And it's paying off. All that training she did, the recovery from that injury, all great. It's paying off. Many goals and a few assists, obviously 2 in this game. And we end up winning versus South Dakota 3-1 on the road. A very nice result. We also scored 2 points in the yellow card category.
I know Giselle had one, didn't Caroline have one?
Yeah, Giselle and Caroline. I was talking to, I don't know, it was some of the freshmen. You might have been there, but they're like, every time Giselle gets behind a player, they're like, everyone on the bench is like, no. So
don't foul.
I found that funny because I don't necessarily think that. I mean, I could see it in hindsight, but I definitely don't think that in the moment. No. So it's just kind of funny how they view the game from the bench versus how we do from the sideline. So.
Oh my gosh, this team is so much fun to watch. And speaking of the freshmen, I think now's a good time to mention it since you mentioned the freshmen, I guess. But anyways, the freshmen are just a great addition to the team this year. All of them have contributed in their own way, whether it's building team chemistry, off the field, or just on the field producing. They're very solid. All 7 of our freshmen just seem very solid on and off the field, and they asked us to be in a TikTok.
Yeah.
It'll be playing over us talking in the video version for you guys to watch, and not our proudest moment, but you know what? The fact that it shows that they care about us. It shows that hey, you guys are part of the team too. We enjoy having you guys. It means a lot to know that they appreciate our support for the team.
Yeah. So. We're starting to do some quick math right now. So we have 4 goal contributions from our freshmen. If you want to add in, it's Riley Chesna's first full season with the team.
Yep.
So kind of not a true freshman, but first year on the team. If you make that 6, did I say?
You said 4.
So 4. So Giselle has a goal, and then we have 3 assists from other players.
Oh, other freshmen.
So that makes up. That probably makes up about. Just trying to guesstimate right now, about 20% of our goals are coming from our freshman players producing. We talked about it last time we did some recaps, or I did. Our freshmen, I think, were really the missing piece of the puzzle. They've been playing phenomenal this year. I can't wait to see them play against some conference opponents.
Oh my gosh, I'm so hyped for conference play. But before we get into that, UT Martin, quick summary, because we don't want to go over time today. Honestly, UT Martin, they didn't look too good. That sounds toxic, but I don't know. You talk about it.
UT Martin. So we played them Saturday. I agree. It wasn't too special of a game. So we scored really early again. Again, our team. I don't know. Just goals in the back of the net is just so valuable. So we scored in the 7th minute. Olivia Kneffley with her goal. And then Lauren kind of gives us that security.
Mackenzie Orr with the assist. I did
yeah.
not realize that. Good for her.
So Lauren scores in the 33rd minute. We go into halftime up 2-0. I think very comfortable against UT Martin. However, they do score in the 54th minute. We put in a ball back in the back of their net like
2 minutes later.
90 seconds later by Maddie. So it's 3-1 then from the 56th minute on. A pretty simple game. I don't remember ever feeling scared. Maybe briefly after their goal because it's a one goal game, and
wrong kind of football, mate.
And that was something last year that was just the most terrifying was our 1 goal victory because our team wasn't scoring enough to get that second goal in. Obviously this year that's different. So basically we end up UT Martin winning 3-1, and that will round out the non-conference play in our season. So we finished non-conference 7-1. That is a team record.
Undefeated, man. It's insane. But now we're on to conference play. And not unfortunately, however you want to look at this, we get to start off our conference season against not only one of the best teams in the conference, but also our biggest rival in the conference.
Absolutely.
Drake University.
Bulldogs.
Bro, imagine being a bulldog. Bro.
They're so tiny and fat.
They are, and they're kind of ugly, not gonna lie. Like, bulldogs aren't even real.
Yeah.
But honestly, they might as well rename Drake University. They need to rename it to Daddy's Money University. That's all they are. Let's be honest here. What is their tuition even? Like, how much is tuition there?
Drake?
Tuition.
Quite a bit.
Like, probably like 40 grand a year. 45 grand a year? Holy crap. That's a lot of dough. I mean, I hope they get a back rub every day or something with that. Like, that's so much.
Yeah.
But Drake is off to an interesting start.
Definitely.
As we are recording this, as of right now, they just lost to South Dakota 2-1.
Yep, that would have been
at Drake.
Yeah, that result came in probably 30, 40 minutes ago. So obviously we have some games that are really good to compare just head to head with Drake. They have played their last 3 games all at home. They have 5 to, oh my gosh.
Why do they have so many home games?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 home games in a row. We will be the 7th out of that 8-game series. But they have played St. Thomas, they have played Omaha and South Dakota. Those are easiest comparisons right now. So just a quick rundown. They tied St. Thomas 1-1. We beat St. Thomas 1-0.
Yep.
Omaha, they beat 1-0. We beat Omaha
3-2.
3-2. And then they lost to South Dakota today 2-1. South Dakota wins that. And we beat South Dakota 3-1. So
the math lines up for us to not feel comfortable, but to be like, okay, it's a winnable game.
Definitely.
But it's Drake. We kind of have a history with them. It's kind of hard to say that, oh yeah, us and Drake are a rival in UNI Women's Soccer, when really we're getting dominated.
Yeah.
Overall. Like, I think we've only had 2 wins against them in team history.
Yeah, so our team history here, we get all of our data from the UNI website, the sports. So
as we should.
This should be pretty accurate, but basically we have 3 wins, 13 losses, and 5 ties.
3 wins? Where's our third? You including a spring game?
There's a playoff game here.
Oh, neutral site, gotcha. And then, okay, gotcha.
I think that's what it counts. Basically, we have beat them once at home and once on the road at Drake. So the proof is not really in the pudding for us beating Drake. However, something that's interesting, like I said, we've been scoring a lot of goals this year. Let me find our goals
25.
per game. We are averaging just a little over 3 goals a game. and we average .7 goals versus Drake. So that'll be an interesting stat to kind of to see how that plays out.
But we said the same thing about Omaha. We only averaged like what was it, .7 goals against Omaha.
Yeah.
We go out there and score 3.
Yeah,
Like we just have a different team this year.
I think that's a testament to how special this team is. So I don't know. I'm actually feeling quite optimistic. I wouldn't quite say confidence, as in I know for a fact we're gonna win, but I would feel quite encouraged by what our team's. I mean, it's hard to not. If I was looking at this from a more subjective point of view, I'd be like, well, we're undefeated. They're not. We're gonna go kick some.
Bootay.
Yeah. It's as simple as that. But we kind of look at the history between the teams. We're like, don't have greatest performances, but this year's team is special.
Very well said. No, what was I gonna say? Probably something to the fact that we're great.
So, I think the goal for us, so we're taking a fan bus to the Drake
Oh my
game.
gosh, it's gonna be a home game for UNI.
Yeah, that's going to be the goal. Really, I mean, just bring out the atmosphere that we have here at Cedar Falls, and it's going to hopefully feel like a home game for the players there. And I think we could kind of shock Drake, give him a little,
Culture shock there.
yeah, give him a little like dump a freezing cold bucket of water on him, like, hey, welcome to the Valley conference play. Like, this is how this is going to go down. So
Yeah.
we're hoping for a win. Do you want to talk about either our current Missouri Valley Conference standings, or where do you think, like, have we changed? Do you think we should place higher up now that you've seen our non-conference games?
Based off the non-conference games, I think before I've said realistically we should be 4th. I'm thinking realistically we should be 2nd or 3rd as long as we beat Drake.
Yeah.
Because Missouri State, very good team. They beat Oklahoma State. They tied Oregon. The stats don't lie with Missouri State. They're a good team.
Absolutely.
However, so yeah, obviously Missouri State number 1. I haven't seen anything significant from any other conference teams. I'm thinking us number 2.
Yeah, I would agree. I think we're tracking for a number 2 right now. Obviously,
We don't want to finish 2.
we don't want to finish 2nd. We also
I'd rather finish 3rd.
we need to just win our home games and win against the teams that are going to be placing above us in the standings. So we need that win versus Missouri State, versus Drake, versus Valpo. Those would all be wins that come the end of the season. We have those head to head, and we have the points from that game. Those 3 points from a win would be huge. I think we're tracking for a 2nd place based on what I'm seeing in the rest of the conference.
It just sucks that arguably we have the toughest away schedule in the conference. Because we play Drake on the road. That's never an easy game. Drake usually finishes, top 4? I think they finished top 4 in the conference last year. I don't
Can't
remember.
say for sure.
Maybe they finished I don't remember. But they have a lot of returning players, and they're projected at what? Oh, we can look at it from last year. Look at that.
5th.
They finished 5th. Okay. Well,
2 points.
above us.
2 points out.
That's not an easy game. Murray State, Belmont, that's just a tough trip in general. Both of them were projected above us, so tough matchups, but they finished, like I said, below us last year, but yeah. So tough weekend. Tough 2-game series. And then we play Missouri State on the road. That's, yikes. That's a tough team.
Yeah, that's...
Playing them on the road without Panther Prowlers there. Oh, I mean, maybe I could get 1 or 2 others to go. I know you can't, but if I'm free, maybe we can run something for that game. Who knows? And then Valpo on a Thursday at the Brown Field. Quite literally, that's what it's called. That's kind of ironic, but...
And that's a tough way to end those last 2 road games of the season. Those are gonna have huge... If we're
Playoff
tracking UNI for 2nd, those games are gonna have some huge playoff implications down the stretch there. Yeah.
Illinois State at home for what I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, so like we said, very tough away schedule. But looking at the home schedule, realistically, we should go 4-1.
At least
4-0-1, maybe throw a tie in there. But I'm thinking UIC that's a toss-up. That's a tough game at home. Count it as a loss, tie, win. I don't care. Like, that's a tough game. Kickmito game against Southern Illinois, I think we win that. Like, honestly, I think we win that 2-1. Sure, no, never mind. I'm thinking of a different team. Indiana State at home. They're not good. They're not good. Like, looking at their non-conference play, like, if we lose that game, throw away the season. We don't deserve to make the playoffs.
That team finished 10th last out of 348 teams at the RPI rankings at the end of last year.
So bad.
So, to say we should beat them is an understatement.
Yeah. Evansville, another tough team. Or not tough team, another easy team. Complete opposite of what I just said. 3-0, honestly. We should be able to win that game pretty easily. And then Illinois State to wrap up the season. Illinois State brought in a few good recruits. They could turn things around this coming year.
Yeah, they won 3 games last year.
Well,
out of all their games. They won 1 conference game.
They beat Missouri State last year. Do not count them out.
About that.
Do not count them out. They beat Missouri State last year and bumped Missouri State down to the 2 seed and screwed them over having home field advantage throughout the tournament. But
so funny.
I guess it didn't matter because they won.
Look at this little stat. Streak, win 1, win 1, lose 1, lose 1. That's kind of funny. All right.
Who did Valpo lose in the final week? I guess
No, I'm pretty sure they won.
I think Evansville beat them in the final week.
Can't say for sure.
Who cares?
Anyways, so I would track us almost for second place here. We could
wrap things up a little bit.
Talk about our team and these rankings.
Oh my gosh.
So just as of like a couple hours ago, we got some great news via the Instagram page.
We are 10th in the Midwest region. We don't know what that means because teams like Houston and Texas Tech and Texas and BYU and Central Florida and Baylor, teams that aren't in the Midwest in this top 10. However, the fact that I bet it's based off conference. I think that's what it is because like those are all Big 12 schools. And technically the headquarters of the Big 12, I believe, are in the Midwest. So those are considered Midwest. I could be wrong on that. Oh, Kansas is in there. That's a Midwest team. But anyways,
also Big 12.
Also Big 12. Yep. It's literally the entire Big 12.
Okay, it is Big 12 and then Missouri State in 8th. But
and then us at 10th. But that's kind of huge. They're recognizing that, hey, UNI is the real deal this year.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. Also kind of funny, like Iowa State's not on here. I know they're not like great, but you know, we're passing them in these rankings almost for sure. We are one of 3 teams on this list that are undefeated. We have BYU at 1 with 7 games, 0 losses.
BYU's so good.
Texas Tech, 8 games total, 6 wins, 2 ties, and us sitting at 7 wins, 1 tie. It's interesting. Missouri State's currently sitting at 5 wins, 1 loss, 2 ties. However, we talked about their strength of preseason schedule. Or non-conference schedule. So they sit just a couple places above us, but if the other teams in our division are in this list somewhere below 10th, that's showing even more back up to we're probably on track to finish second. And you know, if you get lucky a game or two, we're on track for first, which is crazy to like. Now, this is another thing I talked about. Like I talked about this last week. Like we have our dreams. Of like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we placed first?
Wouldn't it be cool to win more than 6 games in 1 year?
But we are starting to now have serious conversations about, hey, we might actually be a contender, like more than just a bunch of crazy things that have to happen.
Bro, that's just more money out of our pocket for road trips, and I'm okay with that if we make the conference tournament Final Four.
Yeah. So, obviously
unless it's hosted here, I guess.
Very good team. Do you have anything else to add on the poll, and then we can run through some team stats?
And then wrap things up? Nothing I can think of, honestly. Let's just wrap things up with team stats real quick before we...
So, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but we have scored 25 goals, and our opponents have only scored 6. So, what that tells me, we've played 8 games. We're averaging 3.13 goals per game. Our teams that we play against are averaging 0.75. So, not only is that a testament to our offense, which is
Dominating.
Kick ass this year. Our defense.
I've never heard you swear before. I'm gonna keep that clip forever.
Thanks. Our defense also very strong. Now we are dealing with a slight injury of Maddie Solari, one of our starters.
Who might play on Sunday? We're not for sure.
Yeah, we don't really have the inside scoop.
But also, Allison Whitaker might be out. If both of them are out, then we need to have a different conversation.
We could fill though between Mackenzie Orr and Megan Bennington.
Megan Bennington played so well against the team.
she
That and like Riley Chesna is still an option on the bench. Like
we could fill in. It just might not be as optimal.
As good as Allison Whitaker and let's go with that. But like both of them are great, or all three of them are great options.
Yes. Absolutely.
And I'm curious to see what would happen if Riley Chesna does play an entire game, because it's yet to happen.
Yeah.
But she's not a bad option.
We are... I don't know if this is true. We have 20 shots a game. Our shot on goal percentages is over 50%.
That's insane.
Which is quite good. So we're challenging the keepers. We have some pretty good keepers in our conference, like Camille Day.
Hey, we don't have to worry about her until what, October?
Yeah.
We're fine.
So at 18 goals out of our 25 have been assisted. So lots of teamwork going on here.
Our transitions are improving.
Yes, absolutely.
It used to be one of our weakest points. And even beginning of the year, I'm like, our transitions aren't great, but they're getting better.
Yeah. Leaders category.
Bro,
I don't know why I wouldn't just look at this.
Yeah, I just want to say, Lauren Heinz is a stud so far with 4 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah.
I think it'd be awesome if we could have Lauren Heinz on the podcast. Not gonna lie, as you're wearing the shirt that you got from the UNI Athletic thing today, whatever that was.
That's fun.
It was fun. No, but like I said, yeah, I think it'd be cool to have Lauren Heinz on the podcast, get to interview her, and
great player, one of our seniors.
Yeah. So Lauren Heinz, if you're watching this, we need you on the podcast. Holy crap.
She has to do it now. No pressure, but also do it.
It's not peer pressure. It's just your turn. As said in Caitlin's episode. Gosh darn it.
Did you really?
Yeah,
That's
I did.
funny.
You haven't seen it? It's a good episode.
It came out like yesterday, bro. I've been busy.
Fair enough.
All right.
Watch it tonight.
Anyways, so our leading goal scorer is kind of a surprise. It actually is. It's not Lauren Heinz, although she has. She's tied the most for our goal contributions.
Doesn't Lauren Heinz have more goals this year than last year? Sorry for interrupting.
No problem. So Lauren has 4 goals, 2 assists. We have another person who scored more goals, and that's actually Macy Smith with 5 goals, which is pretty crazy considering last season, I believe. That's crazy. Well, we did not score a lot last year.
Yeah, we have more goals this year than last year already.
God.
That's insane.
That is insane.
We only scored 23 goals last year.
Let me tell you, this team is special. We have 10 games left. We're averaging 3 a game, and we've already scored more.
Yeah,
That's
insane.
It's great. So some notable, we have Lauren Heinz and Maddie Eastis both have 4 goals, 2 assists. Maddie getting both those assists during that South Dakota game. Ashley Harrington, 3 goals, 2 assists. Olivia Knuffley, 3 and 3. So she would also be tied for 6 contributions. Everyone else kind of... I don't have to go through everyone on this list because that's kind of boring. But we have another thing. We have 3 different players with 6 contributions. We have Olivia Knuffley, Maddie Eastis, and Lauren Heinz. So we're getting these goals from different players. They're being assisted by different players. So it's hard to pick a superstar this year, to be honest with you. Because we look at Macy Smith, 5 goals, but only 184 minutes. That's kind of crazy, though.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's like over half a goal per game.
Yeah. So she is low on the list of minutes this year. Our most minutes is obviously Caitlin Richards, Caroline Hazen, second, and then notably our freshman Olivia Bull with 572 minutes across 8 games and 7 starts from Olivia. So
Our defense is just
Very
insane.
good. Very good.
They're always gonna. I don't even know how to word it. They never get tired.
Yeah.
All right. Any last words before we wrap things up?
I would like a last word.
Okay.
Look at this shot on goal percent from Warren. That's not too shabby. 60% shot on goal percentage.
It's pretty good. Better than.
Olivia Bull, 100%. She has 2 shots. Oh, stats are fun. Anyways, basically, the team stats are telling a story this year. And that story is that we are bound for a top spot in the Missouri Valley Conference.
Also, sorry, you should keep going. I'll finish up.
No, I was content at that.
But thank you again for watching this week's episode. Losing is not an option on Sunday. As we go into Drake Stadium, losing is not an option.
Mm-mm.
Like, it would be completely unacceptable if we lost to Drake on Sunday.
Yeah.
I will be upset for 20 minutes if we lose to Drake.
No, as a diehard fan, I think we're allowed to call ourselves that.
Yeah. I think we're like lowballing it when we call ourselves diehard. We're a little more than diehards at this point.
This is my perspective. I don't know if the team will be too beat up other than the fact that they lost their first conference game if they lose. But for me, that would kill all my
Hope
energy and passion. Because it's like, oh man, we just killed everyone and we have Drake, which is like, let's just say like upper mid-table team in our conference, and we lose that first game. That would just, for me, kill all the excitement of being like, oh, we're undefeated, which is really fun to say. So I'm not, like we mentioned earlier, not scared, but this if we lose this game would be a blow to my morale as a fan playing a rival every week. But
Drake hate week, man. That's all I'm saying.
Gotta love it.
Anyways, thank you guys again for watching this week's episode. Tune in for episode 18 where I interview, his name's Trevor, I can't think of his last name, but he's the president of the Illinois State Red Alert Student Section. And yeah, hopefully next time we have an episode, we'll be 8-0-1.
Yeah, tune in, episode 19, where we have a win versus Drake.
Perfect.
I was gonna say something else, but I decided it should not be on the internet.
Fair enough. All right, let's cut the cameras before we say anything controversial. See you guys next time.
We're gonna wait till you stop the video, then I'll tell you.
Okay.